1968, a young girl named Iris, attending the opening of Skyview restaurant, proposed to Iris and gently put the engagement ring on her finger. At that moment, Iris saw something terrifying. The boy upstairs threw down a penny. It looks like death blew the coin, leading it straight into a vent. Coins stuck in the propeller made it stop suddenly. Meanwhile, and inside the tower, people are still happily dancing. That the marks fast wide land when Iris and Paul are moving to the photo metal bars below has reached the limit of tolerance. Turn on. Suddenly the coin got stuck and broke the propeller. A piece of debris that flew straight when people are still dancing. Gas starts leaking out the Everything air. Around her makes Iris feel insecure. Suddenly it's falling through the floor. One by one, people start desperately clinging to the metal bars below. The staff downstairs lucky enough to stick to a reinforced glass. Iris screams for help, but no one desperate to reach out your hand. But he slipped out of her hand and fell. The scene of chaos erupts as people find a way out. A burning woman runs into the leaking gas. It immediately caused a huge explosion. That doesn't run in time was killed. Lucky to escape the fire narrowly. The staff shouted for everyone to scatter. The boy who threw the coin ran to the front crowd to rush to the exit, but death arranged the way collapsed, killing all the A's that just walked in. Miraculously, the boy survived. The remaining survivors push each other into the elevator. An old man shoved to one side. The elevator malfunctions and crashes. In a horrible scene. Iris tries to find another way out. But the pressure put her pregnancy in danger. She suddenly noticed that objects began to slide horribly. Sensing a disaster, she quickly climbed up. Others are not so lucky. The water floor in half forms a very large slope. People slide down and fall on the reinforced glass. A woman thought she had survived. But when I look up, a piano for the island above. One more time, death intervened and dropped a penny on the piano. It fell straight on the poor woman. At that time, everyone in the group fell down. The boy who survived smiled until the piano fell on him. Iris is devastated by Paul's death, but then she saw another boy in danger and life to save the boy. At that moment, the building above completely collapsed. In a split second. But when you look closely, she realized that what saved her was not her hand. That fragile bond can't last long. Seconds later, Iris fell straight into the flames below. Stephanie wakes up from a nightmare in the middle of the classroom. But it's not just a normal nightmare. For 2 months I had the same dream. Stephanie told her roommate that in the dream there's a woman named Iris, same as your grandmother's name. But Stephanie's never met Iris. I don't even know if she's alive. Your friend suggested you go home and find out. The nightmares will end. Stephanie came home. She asked her father, Marty, about Iris. Marty frowned a little but grinned. You're obviously hiding something. Right then, Stephanie's younger brother, Charlie, said he was going to visit his cousin. So Stephanie decided to come along. Before they leave, Marty told him not to mention Iris to his family. This only makes Stephanie more suspicious. So, what happened to Iris? If the woman in the dream is Iris and something bad happened, where did your mother come from? When Stephanie and Charlie went to their cousin's house, she immediately approached to ask about my mother. Hogwarts kept you, then quickly changed the subject. But when Stephanie mentioned Skyview, that you often see in your dreams, and his wife Brenda looked horrified, Stephanie continued. They are curious and together they want to know the truth. They finally revealed that Iris is not dead. She had a severe mental breakdown. But with Hogwarts and Brenda, Iris is almost dead in their minds. Stephanie wants to talk to Iris directly. I hope this will end your nightmares. But Hogwarts, in a fit of anger, they told me that after their father lost control, suck them in the house and live in fear that your child will die. Eventually the police had to intervene and take Iris away. Nurturing care. When Hogwarts and Brenda had their own son, Julia and Bobby, Iris started sending strange letters. It's full of warnings and images of the corpse. They finally decided to move cut off all contact with Iris. Stephanie asked to see the letters, but Hogwarts and Brenda refused. After many pleading, Brenda secretly told me where to hide the letters. Stephanie found the letters, and what she saw shocked her. The woman in the identical photos in the dream. Determined to find the Stephanie drives alone to find Iris, according to the address. She went to a remote place over the radio at the door, but she urged her to leave immediately. However, Iris requested, "You have to leave everything in your pocket or entering." Stephanie carefully walked in. The house is full of strange things. Even the ceiling is filled with spikes. Iris says this is all about defense from invisible threats. As Stephanie slowly went inside, Iris anxiously told her to close the door. Suddenly, a fire extinguisher fell outside. Warned Stephanie not to touch anything. Everything can be a death trap. When I finally saw my granddaughter, a warm smile. She asked about Stephanie's mother. Stephanie says she was separated from her mother at age 50. I don't know if I'm alive right now. Stephanie started asking about her nightmares. Said it wasn't just a dream, it was a memory. Seen the future. I saw a disaster coming. She was with Paul on the top floor. A woman's hat blown away by the wind. And a boy was going to throw a penny. Security guard stopped you, but you still insist on throwing it. Is about to Iris propose. Immediately warns that the building is about to collapse. Iris rushed to take the coin from the boy's hand that causes the butterfly effect. She rushed downstairs and extinguished the pot. She quickly grabbed the microphone and asked people to look at the floor. Some tried to stop her, but others have started to pay the watermarks. Iris saved a lot of lives that night. The building didn't collapse as fate would have it. The restaurant was later closed. Iris prevented the disaster. That is not acceptable. My plan was ruined. Many years later, he came back and everyone who was there that night, including her husband Paul. Iris has learned to recognize when death is near. She spent years trying to prevent disasters. But now death is finally catching up. Iris is now suffering from cancer. I talked to Stephanie. Iris is temporarily off guard. And that's when death silently appears. Magnifying glass. The light bounced on a rope. It starts to smoke. Iris believes that's Stephanie's dream. It's a sign, because she may have inherited her ability. Iris told Stephanie to stay and learn the basics because it's too dangerous. She hasn't left the house in 25 years. Stephanie didn't want to stay. You need to go back to school. Iris warns that death is upon their family. But Stephanie thought it was a dream and didn't believe her. You left without hesitation. Iris begged you to bring the book before you go. As soon as Stephanie walked out the door, Iris has a strong compass wind plus other factors. She knows that if I step outside, she would die. But for Stephanie, she risked her life. She threw the book into her hand and says, "Can protect the whole family." But Stephanie still didn't believe it. So Iris told her to back off. You will prove everything is true. A strong wind suddenly blew through the compass. VA into the fire extinguisher. The vase flew up and pierced through Iris' mouth. Stephanie finally believes Iris is gone. Relatives attending her funeral. Stephanie told her father and uncle. Iris warned that death was coming, but they don't believe. That's when Stephanie's mother, Galen, showed up. She's still mad at Iris. Stephanie just quietly walked home. She started reading the book that Iris had given her. The rest of you are at my house. Hogwarts hosts an outdoor barbecue and laughing. I didn't know that death had come. Bobby accidentally broke a glass, but didn't know that a fragment into the ice bucket. Clearly, these are the new tools that when people get together to eat, they accidentally use a piece of glass to Iris's death. Remind them to treasure every moment of life. After that, everyone drinks and suddenly Julia began to choke. You feel something stuck in your throat and can't breathe. Panicked people rushed to help, but it turns out you're choking. Not Stephanie's house. She's still reading Iris's book. You see a chapter talking about the penny event at a barbecue. Meanwhile, Eric's assembling the oven outside. Called Charlie to play on the trampoline, but they don't see The book fell out of Stephanie's hands. You feel a danger coming. When the grill is turned on, a picture frame falling apart. A piece of glass splashed across the floor. Among the glasses of water. I don't know which glass contains the deadly piece of glass. Took a sip, but nothing happened. Then the camera pans to Dallin's glass. Maybe your glass. It feels like something is wrong. Stephanie hurried towards the Hogwarts house. He also called his brother Charlie. But unfortunately, you're not answering. At this time, the trampoline has been painted and is about to tear. There is a danger warning sign ahead. Is trying to stop you. Fragment of glass found in Chaka's glass of water. But he took a small sip and put the glass down. Came to jump on the trampoline. The surface looks like it's going to collapse at any moment. Dallin found the claw hidden underneath. She screamed and ran over. Pick it out and bring it back to the warehouse. Then and there, VA on the switch of a nearby machine, cause the tubes below to start twisting and shaking. And the rake started shaking like it was about to fall. When Stephanie arrived, Death is ready to start his show. Hogwarts came to greet her. Suddenly Bobby's leg got stuck in the trampoline. Julia looked back and accidentally broke a glass of water under the lawn. At the same time, the rake fell on the lawn, lost his balance and fell to the machine. The family once again attended another funeral. Stephanie hurried home to resume her 6 books. She found a note with the text, JB found a survivor. So she started analyzing. Who could be the next victim? Iris and Paul have 2 children. Hogwarts and Dallin has 3 children. Julia and Bobby. Dallin has 2 children. Stephanie and Charlie. They're all blood related. You can't escape death. Stephanie explained the rules to the rest of us. Now they just sit quietly and listen. It all comes from the death list at the restaurant. Order. Hundreds of people should have died, but Iris saved them. And now death returns to take their lives one by one. Death always follows a pattern, specifically when acting, and will continue to Stephanie's family. Marty and Brenda are the family's son-in-law. There is no blood relation. That means the person you're meeting, most dangerous right now, Eric. But indeed, 01A, I believe they all think you're haunted or cursed. And then one by one they left. Eric came to work with a fan, spinning through a hanging chain. Hooked them to Eric's nostrils. Nearby disinfectant is spilled on the floor. The fan keeps spinning. The chain is getting tighter and tighter. Move the eyelids. Try to keep your balance. I accidentally bumped into a nearby lamp. Fell and immediately caught fire. Things got worse very quickly. Glass all over Eric the table. In pain and panic tries to free himself at the last moment. But when he fell, he spilled more disinfectant. The store exploded a few seconds later. Stephanie was worried because Eric didn't answer any of her calls all night. So she dragged Theo Charlie in a hurry to find him. They almost had an accident. It was Eric who was lucky to survive. He escaped by tearing off Roz's burning suit. But what happened next made Stephanie more convinced that death is hunting them. Eric still doesn't believe a word. So Stephanie decided to be there to protect him. She started following Iris's note, tried to prevent chain reaction. For example, a tree's branch cutter suddenly fell off a nearby branch. I almost hit a boy's football that the balloon could have flown into Eric's head. That's when they ran into Julia running. A garbage truck passing by. Stephanie immediately warned Eric to stay away. But Eric was reckless. Julia ignored them and kept running. No one expected what happened. Julia accidentally got caught in a garbage truck. Stephanie jumped in the car, reached out and grabbed Julia and held her hand. But it's too late. That's when the rest of the family finally realized death is really coming to them. Then Brenda reveals a shocking truth. Eric is not the son of Hogwarts. You are the result of an affair. That's probably why Eric's still alive. The next person in danger is the youngest of Hogwarts, Bobby. Stephanie remembered a name in the note and Dallin happened to know him. They rushed to the hospital looking for him. It turns out that William is the boy saved that fateful night. William explains there are only 2 ways to defeat death. Let AI in its place, or die and come back. You said you've got the same disease as Iris now. Your time is running out. I warned you that everyone would die in the correct order in the list. That sounds scary. William too much involvement in the plan. If 7 fails, I advise them to value the rest of their time and then quietly leave. Eric thought that if there was a way to death and resurrection is the easiest. I asked Bobby to eat some peanut food, hoping to cause a severe allergic reaction so that the doctor could save his life. The boundaries of they buy a pack of peanuts from a vending machine, but the peanuts are trapped inside. Too upset, Eric broke the glass to get out, and then with Bobby, we'd lift up the vending machine. After a struggle, they got the peanuts. Then they walked in the next room, but accidentally activated the MRI. The strong magnetic attraction begins nose to piercing and ear piercings on the body. The wheelchair in the back is up. Eric was squeezed into the MRI machine and couldn't get out. Had just finished eating peanuts and had an allergic reaction to help. At the right time, a doctor noticed something was wrong, but then tragedy happened. He flew across the room and stabbed Bobby in the head, and Charlie hold each other tight. They know they can't fight death anymore, so they decided to follow Iris's path. To Iris's old bungalow. They didn't notice that a penny had fallen out of the notebook, and an old woman picked it up from the ground. The cabin on the mountain had a sense of anger, as if death had been waiting for them for a long time. Stephanie stomped on her gay leg and crashed straight into the house, crashed into something, and the seatbelt stuck. Hold her tight now. The target of death is down. As long as you get into the bungalow, the rest can be saved. But no one saw it from electrical cords caught on the roof. As soon as Dallin came to the door, there was a big explosion that blew up the car. Stephanie's body was thrown into a nearby pond, was trapped under the wood, injured and trying to escape. Dallin cows come and free Charlie. She told him to quickly save Stephanie. Right after that, right where Charlie rushed to pull Stephanie right. You are unconscious right now. Fortunately, you saved her. They hugged each other and laughed. Maybe that's what William was talking about. And come back. But when I found out that Dallin was Stephanie dead, couldn't hold back her tears. Now it's just you and Charlie. We're the last to carry Iris's blood. Later, Charlie and Stephanie went to his girlfriend's house. While adjusting Charlie's clothes, Stephanie accidentally pierced by pink flowers. Suddenly, she remembered the dream. And then an old lady dropped a coin and it rolled down between rails just in time for a train to arrive. Charlie's girlfriend's father is a doctor. When I heard that Charlie saved Stephanie's life, he said that Stephanie had technically never died. If she's just unconscious. Resuscitation, that Tim never stopped not really dead yet, he said softly. But with Stephanie and Charlie, it's not easy. Stephanie, seeing an identical red car in a Charlie's girlfriend. She even wears the same clothes that Iris used to wear. Insecurity is growing. And then the train was packed full of cake, and there was an accident straight for them. Charlie immediately pulled her up. Looks like they got away, but they haven't escaped yet. What do you think of this movie? Leave a comment below. Let us know. Thank you for following us.